America. I'm Lyle Rapacki reporting for Prescott E-News in Prescott, Arizona. This is Arizona Today. I wanted to give you a very quick update. This is not our normal 27-minute program. It's going to be very quick because I want to give you an update of a judge's ruling today in Maricopa County on the ballot audit controversy. He ruled about 11:30, quarter of 12 today, and stated that the Senate does have access, legal access, constitutional access to the 2.1 million ballots in Maricopa County. Now, I'm going to read a couple of passages here from the judge's ruling, and I think this will make great sense, especially given what we've been discussing the past weeks and the arguments that have fruitlessly gone back and forth. Judge Timothy Thomason in Maricopa County ruled that the subpoenas the subpoenas the Senate issued, complied with statutory requirements for legislative subpoenas. Well, isn't that breaking news? We discussed this many weeks ago. We advised the Senate and the House leadership 15 weeks ago that they had the constitutional authority to do so. Now, in their defense, they did not know. It had been many years, 35 years maybe, since the legislature had ever subpoenaed anyone. So that's understandable. So it took a couple of weeks to teach what the Constitution had to say. But then attorneys get involved, and they had to play with what is. And then that took weeks. The judge said that and I'm reading from the judge's ruling, the Senate also has broad constitutional power to oversee elections. Did you get that? For those of you watching from clear across this nation, and as we've already talked about, thousands upon thousands, we're up in the millions watching this program, and we weren't prepared for that, and we've talked about that in the past too. Go to your legislature. You want something to do? Contact your legislature. Don't rest on just emails. They don't read most of them. Get on the phone. They don't respond to a lot of those. You may have to go in person and say, you need to read what the Maricopa County Superior Court just ruled in relationship to the Arizona legislature, the Senate, in the controversy of the ballot recount. So let me read this again. So wherever you're at, and we've had letters from virtually every state in the nation, not every, but virtually every state. The judge stated, quote, the subpoenas comply, the Senate subpoenas comply with the statutory requirements for legislative subpoenas. The Senate, the Arizona State Senate, which means your Senate also, all 50 states are equal. The state Senate also has broad constitutional power to oversee elections. That is critical right there. The Arizona legislature, and I'm still quoting, the Arizona legislature clearly has the power to investigate and examine election reform matters. This is what we've been talking about, and this is what all these arguments have been about, back and forth, delaying time. The president of the Arizona Senate, Karen Fann, who has been fighting a very good fight with Senator Borelli on this, and we've talked about this over the weeks, stated today on her way back up to Prescott. She lives here in Prescott, by the way. And so in her car, she was notified of the judge's ruling about noon. And she stated this on a phone consultation, quote, that this has never been about overturning an election. And we've said that. It's never been about that. Here's what the president of the Senate said, furthermore. This has always been 100% about voter integrity and finding the answers to all of our voters' questions about the safety and security and validity of the Arizona electoral system, end of quote. Absolutely correct. This has not been about politics, though politics has imbued itself throughout this whole system. This has been about election integrity. This has been about voter integrity. This has been about reassuring the voter that their vote counts. one of the supervisors, Supervisor Gates, Bill Gates, Maricopa County, after the judge's ruling came out and stated, quote, "The court has ruled. I look forward to working with the Senate to provide them the information they are requesting." You know, Supervisor, I'll wait until I see the actual action, because you and your fellow colleagues, that's redundant, your colleague supervisors have said the same on multiple occasions. And yet your evidence, the evidence has shown quite opposite. Now here's something that the judge stated, and I'm going to quote it, in his ruling. Judge Thomason stated that he lamented that the courts had become embroiled in a political fight, calling the highly bitter dispute between dedicated public servants and two branches of government regrettable. And I absolutely agree. We have said the same thing. They took an oath, these supervisors, to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution from all enemies, and to serve we the people. And so this judge is correct. It's been highly regrettable. This has been a highly bitter dispute. Should have never happened. Should have never happened. The judge continued, and I'm quoting, "They apparently have not done so," meaning the supervisors and all the governmental players involved. "Our governmental officials should not be spending valuable resources on lawyers." That's a quote. "Fighting with another branch of government over what materials can be provided to another branch of government under a subpoena." Thomason wrote, quote, "Rather, citizens expect their governmental officials to work cooperatively for the common good. It is highly unfortunate that that has not happened here. When government officials resort to name-calling and threats, something has gone terribly wrong." Well, that judge is terribly right. This has been a terrible ordeal. Should have never, ever, ever happened. Some questions should have been raised. Some questions between both branches of government should have been asked. But I'm going to tell you, and we have shared with you over the weeks, the questions that had been asked were answered. They were answered fully based on the Constitution. Dragged their feet and played this game back and forth, delaying and delaying, hoping that the whole thing would go away, that you, the people, would forget all about it. And by the time, if there was ever an audit, and they were working to make sure it didn't happen, there would be nothing to see. Now, I'm going to share with you, last week, the county did its own audit. They did their own audit of the machines, the ballots, and everything. They found nothing. There was nothing there. That's sort of like the fox watching the hen house after hens have gone missing and missing and missing. And finally, the farmer says, you know, there's a real problem here. We don't know what it is, and we don't know what caused it, but let's get to the bottom of it. And the fox steps up and says, I'll tell you what, I'll stand guard. I'll watch the door. And if the farmer's stupid enough to say, okay, then he deserves the outcome. Maricopa County supervisors went ahead after saying they would not do any of this. They would not audit. They would not forensically comply in any shape or form. They went ahead and said, okay, we'll do our own audit by their own people who had access all along to the machines, the ballots. It's exhausting, but it's worse than that. There's very little regard for we the people. Very little regard. And I'm seeing this, I know you are, based on the letters you've sent from all across this nation. There's very little regard among elected officials for the preponderant majority of them, regardless of what state, regardless of what office. Could be school boards, could be city councils, legislatures, I just name them. There's little regard for the people. until a couple of months before election, and then all the rhetoric comes out. Well, the courts ruled today in Arizona, Maricopa County, that the state Senate has the authority, the constitutional authority, that the legislature does have the right to oversee all elections. So from border to border, from coast to coast, get after your state legislators. Tell them to look at what happened in Arizona today, and that you demand the same thing, especially in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, New Mexico, Nevada. You demand the same thing that's finally come about after 15 weeks here in Arizona. You demand that the state legislature in your state orders a recount, orders an investigation, orders a forensic audit of all materials, ballots, voting machines, tabulators. If the legislature does have the constitutional authority to oversee elections and to issue subpoenas and to get to the bottom of any questions that would jeopardize the integrity or the alleged integrity of the voting system. Now, let me wrap this up by saying this is not a joke. Right here, I don't know if you can read it very well. I'll do my best. In Arizona, this is House Bill 2700. This is a proposed piece of legislation in Arizona. You ready for this? I'm not making this up. That's why I hope you can read this. I can't see all the well, but here it is. Here's the complete House bill. If we open it up, you'll see it's numbered. Oh, I don't know if you can see that very well. Again, I'm not a reporter or media person. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of numbers and a lot of stuff on there. But what this is saying, this House bill, 2700, is that the Board of Supervisors are asking for a $20,000 a year raise. I'm not making this up. In any county in Arizona, this is before the Arizona legislature, that's above 500,000, they want to raise it 20,000. So in Maricopa County, the county with these supervisors who have done everything they can to make sure that there is no audit, they want to raise their salaries from 76,000 to 96,000. They don't deserve 76,000. This is the bill. There it is. They want a $20,000 raise. That's chutzpah. I don't have any words for that, and this is not a joke. That's the bill. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your continued support. We're going to have more information on this Monday morning, this coming Monday. Today is February 26th, Friday, February 26th. This Monday, the Arizona Senate will be meeting to choose a forensic team to start the forensic audit. It will be an uphill battle there because lots of weeks have gone by. And there is now a question of crime scene integrity. Who has had access to the ballots? Who's had access to the machines? Have they been under lock and key? And who's had access to get past the lock and key? Who's had the chain of custody? All of these questions now are arisen. But anyway, this Monday, the Arizona Senate will begin to take a look at the beginnings of conducting an audit, a forensic audit of the Maricopa County ballots and machinery. So stay tuned. I'll have more information for you coming next week. Thank you again, America, for your phenomenal support. Thank you for your phenomenal letters and encouragement. They have meant a phenomenal deal. How's that? I'm repeating myself on purpose. Phenomenal amount of mail, phenomenal words of encouragement, and they've been felt phenomenally. I'm Lyle Rapacki reporting for Prescott E! News in Prescott, Arizona, and that's how I see Arizona today.